Hey guys, this is Josh Shoemaker again here, joined with Dan Keenan like usual. Today we're going to bring you the review for the brand new Ion Pro. So there was definitely a lot of hype around this ball. Storm was kind of pushing it for the last couple of months, and this is one of the balls I've had a little bit of a chance to throw it now, and I kind of see what the hype is all about because I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. So it features a brand new Element Tour AI core, which features an RG of 247, differential of 035, and an intermediate of 014. So a little bit bigger, a little bit more flaring core than the IQ Tour, which is kind of Storm's benchmark ball for a while now. And it's also wrapped in the TX16 hybrid cover, which is kind of the weaker sister cover to the original Phase 2. So I kind of see this as kind of bridging the gap between the IQ Tour and the Phase 2, which has kind of been the two staples as far as benchmark ball motion has gone for the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years now since the IQ Tour has been out. So we're going to start kind of the usual here. The house shot here at Bull Roll has been hooking a decent amount. It's their summer shot, so there's a lot of friction, a lot of free hook right. So we're probably going to start a little bit further left than you normally would. I had a chance to throw this in league last week, and I had 520 the first two out of the box with it, so I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. Ooh. That was about 5 left where I wanted to, and that was frozen rope to the pocket, so we'll see if Dan can throw a little bit better of a shot here to start.
That's pressure. All right, so I'm very excited for this piece. So something I've been working on is with the new oil patterns. We're bowling on some older surfaces in this area. I tend to have a hard time getting the ball. Like my IQs, they're great. I tend to start flat tending with them, and I have a hard time using them. And Phase 2 has been a staple, just a go-to. So what I'm trying to do with this is give myself the IQ shape, but just a little bit more. So I did mine 4.5 by 4 by 4, pinned down for me, hoping that I can use the friction a little bit more. So we just did our video with the XL. These are pretty toasty, so I'm going to use the friction just a little bit more, and okay, maybe we're going to go left on the next one. Part of being in the summer here, not very sharp. So my ball speed's probably, about 2 miles an hour slow.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump a little bit further left and actually try to get this one right a little bit farther. We did just film the video for the XL before this, so we did chew up this lane a little bit. I'll try to get this one going right a little bit faster. A little bit better. So kind of see a lot out of kind of similar to the IQ, where it just kind of reads that lane front to back. It's buttery smooth. It definitely has a lot more teeth than the IQ. So if I had to compare it between the IQ and Phase 2, I think it's a little bit closer than a Phase 2 than an IQ. But we'll see as we keep moving left.
All right, so I'm going to do what Josh just did here. I'm going to try to use that tracer down the lane. Just got to get my feet in the right spot, so this might take a couple shots. Closer, so I was still a little right of the tracer. So next shot, I'm going to go 2 left to get it inside that tracer. This ball does seem to have more teeth than an IQ as far as getting through the shim.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bump another one left here.
Hiya. Fresh cover.
Yeah, new ball carry. So I got that one up the lane a little bit quicker or a little bit more than I wanted to, and kind of rolled that one. But as you can see, it's still butted off enough to kind of get that shaker strike. So I'll try to get the next one right a little bit faster. What's up, buddy? How you been? Good. New balls, more videos per usual.
All right, so like I said, I'm going to go
You guys are
2
good
left
just
off my last shot.
So you guys are
really
just good
trying
to
to
blow
get
whatever. It's a
inside
very
that tracer
impromptu.
down
Just
the lane.
don't even edit anything on it.
So I want to get this ball around 12 at my break point.
Yeah, I wish.
Sort of like that.
It's like Walmart version.
But again, the IQ with 100% left a 10 pin there for me. Us rev deficient guys, we need a little help. And this ball seems to, so far, get a little bit of help we need.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stay in the same spot as that last one and just try to get it going right a little bit quicker. There you go. I actually saw the friction a little bit better and came off of it quicker where the last one labored a little bit.
That was bad. So that was the same shot. Better hand, better roll. So one thing I have noticed, I just looked at the flare lines. I wouldn't call it a low flare ball. Definitely a medium flare. So yeah, looking like it's right in between the two. We'll see when we get to the two.
So I ended up drilling mine a little bit weaker than Dan did. So mine, the flare lines are basically the same as my IQ tour, just a little bit of separation between each of them. And I was telling him earlier, I think this ball gets better with a little bit of lane shine on it. So I had a chance to throw this during league last week. So that's a couple games of lane shine, whereas his is pretty much fresh out of the box. I'll go ahead and move another little bit left here and really try to get all of this one at the bottom. There you go. It's kind of that bread and butter zone for this, which I saw in the league last week when I was using it. We're just kind of able to get a little bit further left and just make sure you grab it all at the bottom.
All right, I'm going to make one more move left here before we do some comparisons. So sometimes leaving that ring 10 is not a bad thing because that's telling me the ball's going through the pins the right way. I would just not have moved yet or go back a half.
So on this next one, I'm going to end up going right to kind of where it finished up with the XL. So this is going to be, there was nosebleed section for that ball, but with this being a little bit weaker of a cover and weaker core, I think it's going to be a little bit more responsive to friction. Make sure I grab all of it just like the last shot again. That was up the lane a little bit, but as you can see from that spot there, it still has plenty left in the tank. I can actually probably jump a little bit further left on the next one.
All right, so I'm going to throw, I have a couple different IQs, but the one I'm going to compare to is my 4.5 inch pin up with an 1.5 inch buffer. I figured this would be probably the closest to the ion for comparison. So I'm just going to go back to where I started with the ion and split there that first shot and see what the IQ does. So as you see, I got that in, but the IQ is definitely a good foot and a half cleaner, and probably just a little more angular down lane.
I'm going to go ahead and jump another 3 left with this ion before I get into my comparison balls here, and really just try to grab all this under the bottom again. So for me, that IQ Tour from that zone is kind of dead. With this having a little bit more of a cover, a little bit more differential, you can still see its shape from that angle. So I really do kind of see this ball as like that jack of all trades, where it's going to be the first out of your bag on a majority of patterns to kind of give you a read on what ball you need to go up or down or stay with it.
So the big comparison has been between the Phase 2 IQ. Let me go to the Phase 2. So this is like a 4 3/4 with a 3-inch buffer. So I'm going to go right where I ended. Let's see what this does. So now it's only been a couple shots. I shouldn't be too excited, but I'm definitely getting the iron has cleanness of the IQ, but the dig in of the Phase 2, which, Josh, I think that puts it in between.
Kind of right in between, which is what we expected. So I'm going to go right back to where I started with the Ion Pro. So this is going to be with the IQ Tour. I think you're going to see this one be a little bit cleaner and faster. Yeah, it's definitely got through the front part of the lane a little bit easier and definitely a little bit faster off the friction, which is exactly what he kind of expected out of it. And those two are laid out the same and also both kind of lane shine from a couple games of league.
All right, let me go back to the Ion now that I've given the comparison, so we can get a few more shots in here. Let you all see. She likes the friction.
So this is at the Phase 2 here. Same pin distance, but a smaller buffer. So this one's going to want to probably go forward a little bit faster. This also has a little bit of surface on it too. So I definitely see this as being a little bit stronger. Ooh. Ooh. String pin action there.
Yeah, so just what I'm seeing, and even with Josh's ball reaction, the Phase 2 is definitely forward sooner and flatter on the back for sure than the Ion, but still rolls through the pins. So again, right in between. I personally am going to use the Ion when the Phase 2 just looks like it's not going to get the 10 out, and I'm past. I'm at that point. I'm already past the going back to the IQ. So this is where I can assure you there'll be a second one in the bag with a pin up. I always do my pin downs first, so I know how much weaker to make the pin up. So this is going to be a staple. This is already in the tournament bag. We don't need to debate that any longer.
Yeah, so I'm really liking just kind of what Dan said, what I'm seeing so far. I went with a little bit weaker of a pin-up version on my first Ion. I was a big fan of the IQ Tours. When I could put weight holes, I would do them pin down. So I could see myself putting a stronger pin down one in the bag now, since we basically have the built-in weight hole with the asymmetry in the core. So really excited for this one. Can't wait to throw it on some tougher patterns. And similar to the XL, it was released yesterday in the filming of this video. So if you guys are interested in grabbing your own, head over to your local store VIP Pro Shop and drill your own today.